Lakers governor Jeannie Buss set the internet absolutely ablaze recently when she took to Twitter to send a cryptic message to someone. What followed soon was a speculation fest with internet sleuths and fans coming up with super wild and, well, some pretty legit theories. So, was it a heartfelt message for her late friend or a subtweet about the Lakers offseason? Keep watching and find out. Starting off with a cryptic tweet, Lakers owner Jeannie Buss came out of absolutely nowhere with a tweet that sent social media into a frenzy over the weekend. She isn't very active on the platform. Like most super wealthy and busy people, she's got far more important things to do than sit on the internet all day like the rest of us. In fact, before Sunday night, she was tweeting at the absolute most 4 times per month with barely 15 tweets all year. Her most recent 2 tweets were about women of wrestling, of which she's a co-owner, and the one before that was a retweet of a trailer for the upcoming multi-part Hulu documentary about the Los Angeles Laker history. That was the extent of her June activities. But then came July, and Buss decided to open it with something other than a promotion of content she's been creating. Just recently, she tweeted out something that sounded more like amusing that she decided to share. But more than the tweet itself, it was the fact that Buss, the most boring and inactive member of Twitter with the bare minimum online activity, had tweeted out something interesting in her cryptic late-night message. I miss KB. It starts with her missing Kobe Bryant, who she does tweet about every now and then it goes on to talk about how much he valued the team over himself. Him operating like that all the time is certainly debatable, further adding that your rewards would come if you valued team goals over your own. Then everything would fall into place. Buss then let the world know that she isn't big on tweeting by ending it with "all can reply." Yeah, well, as long as the Bird app is alive, that's exactly how it works. So what's going on with Jeannie Buss? Ignoring Buss's decision to explain how people have interacted on Twitter for the past 15 years and all of that, the rest of the tweet is worthy of the Drusky "what do you mean by that" meme. Or since she decided to share these thoughts, which received 79,000 plus likes and more than 5,000 replies during a time when the NBA season is all about nothing but mere speculation. Maybe a meme of Brian Windhorst intriguing the first take desk, and a lot of social media, of course, before Independence Day by asking what's going on in Utah, repeatedly for 2 minutes while slowly drawing a comparison between what new Utah Jazz general manager Danny Ainge did in building the Boston Celtics roster by accumulating assets and pointing out that Ainge was doing the same at his new job. Hours after what we can probably call Windhorst's best 2 minutes on television, the Jazz traded Rudy Gobert to the Minnesota Timberwolves for 4 first-round draft picks. So, what's the story behind Jeannie Buss's unusual tweet? Why would she send cryptic tweets during silly season? Do we need to be concerned about what's going on with Buss? Is it necessary for the Phoenix Suns and Brooklyn Nets to find out what's going on with Buss? Will the Lakers acquire Kyrie Irving and Joe Harris in exchange for Taylor Horton Tucker, Russell Westbrook, and a 2027 first-round pick? Is she unhappy with how the Los Angeles Lakers worked together last season? So many questions. So, of course, fans have been speculating. Fans of the Los Angeles Lakers and internet sleuths have obviously been digging too deep, looking for meaning in her words. But who she's looking for a response from is open for debate. It could be aimed at LeBron James, who'll be a free agent next season. Or maybe it's a message to upcoming free agent and highest paid player Russell Westbrook, who, despite 14 seasons in the league, still struggles to hit a jump shot consistently. Or is she signaling to Kyrie Irving, who's training in LA these days? It could be a message to the fans, who want to compete for a championship more than anyone else this season. It's also entirely possible that she's just messing with us. She said that at 11 p.m. on a Sunday night to rile up all Lakers fans, and when the Laker haters woke up from their slumbers, it could add fuel to their beliefs that the Lakers are a smoldering wreck with no relief in sight. That last one is the most unlikely though, but whether she realized it or not, her tweet was a Jerry Jones move. When you own the most well-known team in a professional league, anything you say about it gets a lot of attention. Jones used this exact strategy to make the Dallas Cowboys the most valuable sports franchise in the world. They haven't played in an NFC championship game since the 1995 season, but a First Take A-Block topic in September could be about the Cowboys. It could also be about them in March or May. If winning the big one isn't in the cards, put on a show and always be available for a quote. But Buss has something that the Cowboys doesn't. She owns the winningest franchise in major American professional sports since they were widely integrated. They still have the celebrities on the sidelines, and their stadium now has the crypto company name on it rather than the place where people buy office supplies and use printers on the odd occasion that they need one. Heck, she's even got a documentary celebrating the Lakers' history to keep the franchise fresh in people's minds. Maybe she threw shade at LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Russell Westbrook. Maybe she threw shade at her front office. Or maybe she just misses Bryant like the rest of us. Whatever it is, with Irving to the Lakers trending, her tweet received a lot of attention on the weekend, despite the fact that she isn't a big social media personality. But whatever the tweet means, the Lakers are in deep trouble. They're coming off an extremely disappointing season, and given the league's lack of interest in Russell Westbrook, they appeared to have little choice but to regress. But even so, with the Brooklyn Nets situation imploding exploding, they may have been thrown a lifeline. They reportedly agreed to a trade centered on Westbrook for Kyrie Irving with the Nets. While we do think acquiring Irving has some drawbacks, particularly whether or not he'll be on the court from game to game, he's a better player and a much better fit than Westbrook. Acquiring Irving would significantly boost their title chances, especially if they could coax the most out of him during his contract year. So what's the story with Jeanie Buss? We really aren't sure, and she clearly hasn't found a Danny Ainge to turn her franchise around and put it back on track. But what we do know is that putting the wick of this tweet in the social media fire and waiting for it to explode is good business. She could definitely keep doing it. Now, in other related news. First up, two teams lurking as DeAndre Ayton landing spots. While Kevin Durant rumors dominate the NBA circles, DeAndre Ayton's situation appears set to drag on this summer as he seeks a max contract. The Suns are reportedly trying to move Ayton out of Phoenix on a sign and trade while attempting to bring Durant to the desert, but the details are unclear for now. Meanwhile, the Utah Jazz, along with the Pistons, have been linked to the center. Still, it's entirely possible that two other teams biding their time as this whole saga plays out may eventually snag Ayton for themselves. Next up, we have a hopelessly optimistic Ham. Most Lakers fans have been looking for ways to get rid of Russell Westbrook, but new head coach Darvin Ham is quite bullish on the veteran guard. Specifically, the newly appointed leader of LeBron & Co. isn't ready to join the majority of the fan base, and most analysts in charting a course without the veteran guard. In fact, Ham was quick to point out that Westbrook has been written off far too early and that he's got a plan for him. I think he's going to flourish. We ain't going to try to limit his energy. We're just going to diversify it, redirect it. He didn't spill the beans on his plan, but gotta give it to Ham's optimism. And finally, Bulls defeat Mavericks in OT thriller at NBA 2K23 Summer League. Fans witnessed an absolute thriller on day 2 of the NBA 2K23 Summer League when the Bulls got off to a strong start, taking a 21-17 lead after the first quarter. But the dominance didn't last long and the Mavericks bounced back in the second quarter, taking control of the game with a 30-12 score. But the Mavericks were unable to maintain their dominance for longer and failed to leverage their 14-point lead. Second-year player Marko Simonovic scored 27 points and grabbed 13 rebounds as the Chicago Bulls defeated the Dallas Mavericks 100-99. And that's a wrap for this video. Who do you think Jeanie Buss's tweet was aimed at? Comment below and let us know. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more. See you in the next one.